Okay, morning. Filling in for Melvin again while he's out on medical leave. We are anticipating him to be back next week, so that is good news. Uh, First thing I'd like to cover is the platform tracking. Uh, we are one new piece of information. We are wide at every site right now, so everything is now connected. Every site is now in wide area trunking. So the state is covered, with the exception of Rock Rapids. That's in the northwest corridor that we're still working through. That will be a new build or a tower replacement. One thing to add to that, we have ordered the hardware for that. It is on order. We are expecting it to ship in the coming weeks, and I would like to ship it on to site if possible. I think the issue we're going to run into here is the weather. I mean, it's still cold. There's a lot of snow on the ground, so I'm not sure if it's going to make sense to bring that tower to site, or we're going to have to store it temporarily here in Des Moines and bring it back out there once the weather's a little more cooperative to get that site built. So this is just a quick summary. The one active build, we do have Hardin. It is up live and in wide trunking. There is still some cleanup there. We need to do the fence. We're working with the local city to get that worked out and get that wrapped up once the weather breaks. And then we will start the Rock Rapids location here. We're anticipating within the next month, once the weather breaks, we can get the foundation in and so forth. Hopefully we get that to align with the tower and get that stacked and built quickly. But we do need to have a little more cooperation on the weather. Okay, this is just a quick update on for the coverage testing. I mean, we are going to bring crews back out here in the coming weeks. Just this slide is pointing out one thing that we will not be able to cover is basically the 4 counties, or 3.5 counties up in the northwest until we get Rock Rapids completed. That's the area that's highlighted in the upper left. Okay, sorry about that. I kind of touched on this. The one build to start in the near future, that's Rock Rapids. Following that, coverage testing, we are going to jumpstart that again this month. We did have some weather delays. We had them out here a couple of weeks ago. The weather wasn't very cooperative. We are planning on bringing them back either the last week of this month or the first week of March, assuming the weather cooperates with us and we can get them back out here and it's safe to go drive a lot of the back roads and get that moving again. I think Tom mentioned we are working on the logging integration. We did solve the logging issue that we ran into at JFHQ. Ended up being a parameter issue, so we do have that resolved. We talked a little bit about the DPS dispatch cutovers, so we do have one planned for next week. We'll have the teams out there early next week to get their logger ready and running. We will follow up and have the consoles installed. So by midweek, we'll have our first one done, and we will continue to schedule the other ones to follow. As you did mention, we are working, it's kind of going on the outside in. So Des Moines will be, or JFHQ will be the last location that we bring everything into. So that is progressing. Last bullet here, just kind of just an FYI. We are preparing for the latest system upgrade. We are working with our engineering teams to work out the details. One note here is we will need to go through a database freeze when we do this. We basically pulled the database out of the current core today. We send it off to get it massaged, bring it up to the new level. So if there are any database changes during this freeze period, we're going to have to manually log and put them back into the new system once we get the core back up on the new software. So we are working through those details, but we expect that to happen here in the next couple of weeks, probably early March. First week of March is our target to go into that freeze, and we'll get a lot more details out before that. And then once we get that database back, we bring it up to the latest and greatest, and we're getting real close to wrapping this up. So it's pretty good news. A lot of progress has been made, and The wide trunking was a recent report from yesterday. That just happened yesterday. Everything is up and live.
Even Lourdes?
Yes. The whole state is wide trunking right now. So
I want to just hit on one real important thing. When you said DPS cutover, I want to make sure that everybody understands that we are not, just because they're done at the center and they say the word cutover, that doesn't mean we're using the system. We are not officially cut over to use the system. We are cutting over with the new councils and using the old system on the new council. So please don't interpret that today that a cutover means DPS is now flip the switch, we can't talk to them or whatever. That's not the case. We will let you know exactly when we're switching over.
excellent.
And that's got to time right with the contract obligations, the consulates, at the PSAPs. All that's got to come into play here. So cutover means you're putting our new stuff in, but we're using the old and the new on the same screen.
We're cutting over to the new hardware. Yes, thank you.
Hardware, yeah.
On conventional, correct. We still have to drive test some of those areas up there, do some
Correct.
confirmation. Yeah, we are
Even my
not.
own people think we're cutting over.
Thank you. I know we had a little bit of confusion on that last week, so I appreciate that clarification.
Nick, will locals be able to have access to the coverage testing grid results and maps?
Sure, I guess I'm looking towards Tom, but yeah, I think that could be shared. I mean, once we get this information together and final reports, absolutely.
So if it's been completed, we just get a hold of you?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
If I may add to that, Chair Buffington, those files are going to be massive. If you think about the number of grid points in every county and the parameters that are in each grid point, the one thing that we'll have to figure out also is a very efficient way to try to get that to someone. If we just send it to them in PDF format, there's going to be so much stuff on that PDF that it will be large and it will never render properly on a computer or probably make it through an email server. So we'll have to figure out a way to distribute that somehow. There's probably a way to do it. We just haven't found it yet.
I just want to see a
Set up
map.
a shared drive or something. We can help with
I
that.
really just want to see a map with the grid points of my counties with pass-fail for each grid point. I don't need all the data.
Perfect. That simplifies it
Something
quite
I
a
can
bit.
share with my locals, because we start going all sorts of data sets, you're going to lose them in the first 8 seconds.
That simplifies it quite a bit then.
Thank you.
Are local enhancements going to delay any of the drive test?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, we're testing the state side, you know.
So you're not going to wait for any local enhancements in Montgomery County before you drive that area?
No,
Okay.
Not part of the contract.
yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
What's that here today?